Hello and welcome back to Rock Cycle. Hope you're having a good time. Today we got something, it's a bit different to talk about than the usual content, but I just thought it was quite funny myself, so I thought may as well talk about it on here and just address the situation. Oh god, I already feel like I'm doing a YouTuber apology.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
So anyway, a while back I made a fake Leeds festival poster as a sort of prediction for this year's lineup. And while I'm hesitant to use the word viral, even though anything more than 2 retweets is viral for me, this certainly got a bit of attention online. And that's quite a surprise to me because I originally made this a few months back now. I just sort of posted it on, I think it was E-Festivals originally. Just as a bit of a joke, it's sort of half realistic-ish prediction and half who I'd like to see at the festival. And it's also kind of annoying that this one's gone viral, I guess I'll say, even though that's entirely untrue. Because since then I've made a much better one that fits the new aesthetic that the festival's doing with their poster designs, and it's also a lot more realistic, like there's not massive acts really early on. And I've also surprised this old one got quite a bit of attention because it's got a few errors in it. First of all, I made it after Liam Gallagher was announced, but before the day he was on was announced, I think, or at least I wasn't aware of it, so he's on the wrong day. And also the most notable mistake on this that a few people are pointing out is that I included a cadet who did unfortunately died, well, last year now. I was aware that he had died, but I don't know very many small grime and rap artists. I only know the big ones that would headline all the stages. So I was looking at old festival lineups, trying to find some of the smaller ones that play like midday on the Radio 1 extra stage, like that kind of artist. I saw he was on a few, I was like, oh yeah, I know about him, I'll put him on the poster. And I didn't think about that, so that's a bit of a shame. But I do think that's the main thing that did tip off a fair few people to realise that this was fake. But surprisingly, quite a few people didn't realise it was fake. I mean, this all started, a while back when I first uploaded it, but then for some reason recently it's become #1 on Google when you search Reading and Leeds 2020. And this was never meant to be a prank or anything, any one of those style YouTube videos, although that would have been quite a good idea, even if it would have made myself a bit of a dickhead to be like, haha, I fooled all these people and news websites that the real festival has been leaked. But yeah, I'll show you on my original post up here, hopefully, that I just said, what do you think of this prediction or something, but it seems to be that it then got reposted in a few other places and people didn't mention that it was a prediction style poster. So yeah, it got put on Reddit and E-Festivals a couple more times after I made it, with people not mentioning that it was a prediction. So that's now led to even news sites commenting on this and putting news articles. Like someone sat down and written a big screen worth of text all about my poster, which I just find it really strange. We've also had a lot of fan and stan accounts of certain bands that have appeared on this poster get really excited. I've seen various posts, mainly on Twitter, but on a few other websites around the internet, of people getting really excited to see, oh my god, this artist is performing in Leeds next year, let's go. I mean, it was especially the Lord stans seemed to get very excited about this. Like, there's some tweet with a few hundred likes on it saying Lord's first confirmed date next year. So as much as I enjoy Lord, I think I'm going to hide away from all her fans for the moment in case some of them are a bit angry with me. This also got posted by a few different rock clubs in the UK, but the thing that's been used for the best, that I would say myself, is being used to promote this time last year. They're a small pop punk band that I quite like, who I put them on my poster because I think they'd be a great addition for something like the Lock-Up stage or early Radio 1 stage. So they've seen this, it got a lot of attention with people pointing out, hey, you're on this poster, are you actually playing? And they're now using it to try and get Reading and Leeds Festival's attention and use it to promote their band, because it'd be their first time ever playing there and their first time at any festivals, or proper festivals as far as I'm aware at least. So if anything from this, I recommend checking them out if you're into sort of pop punk music. They're a good laugh, they're a good bit of fun. So well, I guess I'm sorry if I got your hopes up, it was honestly never my intention, but I'm sure there's also quite a few out there who are very relieved that this isn't the actual lineup. So I thought I'd go through and just talk about some of the big acts on the poster, talk about how realistic those predictions are while I'm here talking about it. I mean, first of all, I'll say everything on the dance stage, the pit, the Radio 1 extra stage, and the Festival Republic stage. While all of them, I think, genre-wise, suit those stages and would be great to like fit in with those kind of crowds that you get at those stages, they've all really outgrown the lower stages, and I think they're all the kind of bands that would be high up on the Radio 1 or main stage. So I think that gives it away with how stacked the lower lineup of this poster was. Also, looking at the big acts on the main day, you got, well, Liam Gallagher first of all. He's already added, not much to say else about him. Skepta, he was meant to play the festival a couple years back, he bailed last moment, but since then he's had an album out. A lot of people think he'd be headline level now. Personally, I don't think he is quite headline because his last album didn't do as commercially well as his previous ones, although it did do alright. So I think he'd be a great sub-headliner to make up for the time at the festival he missed. Below that, we also then have Ellis, a great indie alternative band who we know are on the festival circuit next year. They're playing at Mad Cool and they've been sort of confirmed for Glastonbury, but not really. I think we'll definitely see them at a few UK festivals next year. It's just whether they're going to be like a Glastonbury exclusive or not. And then you can see like below that we've got Jerry Cinnamon, who would definitely be a lot higher up on the lineup. Then Lord and Architects headlining and sub-headlining the Radio 1 stage. Now they're both probably far too big for that. Lord could arguably co-headline maybe even, and Architects could easily headline the Radio 1 stage. Next day we got Travis Scott and Bring Me the Horizon co-headlining. This was a very popular rumour at the time, and while I do think it's very likely we will get both of those bands band and rapper at the festival, I don't think they'll be co-headlining. I think Travis Scott has earned his way to be a solo headliner, especially being a Coachella headliner this year. So anyway, yeah, he's had some new music since his last at the festival. He's on the festival circuit next year and currently has no UK dates announced. I can't see him doing Glastonbury. And Longitude already have their lineup announced, so I guess maybe he'll be at Wireless or Rolling Loud or whatever that American rap festival that's coming over here. Maybe he'll be at one of those, but I think there's a good chance he'll be at a UK festival. Bring Me, another band that have been really hyped for the festival, played up all the stages throughout the years. They've got new music out since they've last played. They've got more music coming out next year. And last time they were there, they sub-headlined in 2015, and they've massively grown, so I really think they should be, well, at the very least, co-headlining the festival this year. Then got Catfish and the Bottom, that's another very popular rumour. There's a lot of debate about whether they'll be subbing, co-headlining, or outright headlining if they are there. Now I can't really see them outright headlining with Liam Gallagher. I feel that's a bit too similar style of headliner for the festival and how they are these days. And while they are big acts, I don't quite think they are on the headline level yet. They are extremely close, but like we're seeing the headlining smaller festivals in the UK this year. You can't really headline a small festival and one of the biggest in the UK in the same year. And then we got Lizzo as well on there. Now, it surprised me to find out she's actually played the festival a fair few times at the moment. She's a very hot artist right now. She's really blown up recently. So I think the festival will look to try and get her back, especially since she's got a bit of an established record there. Because honestly, if you don't get her now, if she continues at this rate, she's going to be a headliner, and I don't think they would get her to headline the festival. But I think she'd be great for like high up in the afternoon kind of act. She'd fit in with the sort of alternative pop they're trying to get at the festival these days. It's hard to describe. People who are like Charlie XCX, Panic at the Disco, Billie Eilish have all played there recently. Now, headlining the final day, one that got a lot of people very excited was My Chemical Romance. But since making this, it seems they are, I don't know, all the rumour sites are pretty confident they're doing Milton Keynes Bowl in the UK, not any festivals. But if they're not playing in Milton Keynes in the UK this year, I feel they're pretty much guaranteed to headline Reading and Leeds Festival. I can't see any way they're doing this big reunion and a world tour and missing the UK out, and it's the festival they belong at the UK more than any other by far. Got Haim on there as well, which was added before they were announced to headline with Liam Gallagher at Latitude Festival, I think it is. And I do think you wouldn't have two headliners at one festival. That's a decent sized festival, both at Leeds and Reading Festival. I do think Haim are a future headliner and are going to play a big role in Reading and Leeds' future. Maybe not this year, but we'll definitely see them around. And finally on that day we then have the Kaiser Chiefs. Now this is a bit of an odd choice, and it's really hard to judge where they would be on the lineup these days, because they were a really big band and they really seemed to be on their way to be working up to be a headliner level act. But it just sort of fell off, and I do like them and I have enjoyed their new album, but they're just not really that relevant anymore, I'm afraid to say. Going by their chart position and recent Spotify streams, they would struggle to even headline the Radio 1 tent at this point, to be honest. But I think especially in Leeds they have a very big throwback factor of classic noughties, early 2010s rock that a lot of people would love, and a lot of people would love to see, even if they aren't that excited of listening to their new music. And then as well, we throw in there plus special guest Lewis Capaldi, because he seems to be someone that is one of those more alternative choices that people want to get at the festival. Honestly, I think he would be great as a special guest. He's the kind of act you'd want to play for half an hour then fuck off, even though he's really big. And I do like his music, but I just think if you listen to much more than like half an hour, 40 minutes, like if you gave him a big headline level slot, it would just be pretty boring, to be honest. And then you got Jay Huss and Brockhampton on the Radio 1 stage to counter out all the emo kids going to the main stage, and you want to give something more of the rap fans and the dance music fans something to do. So, well, that's the story, I guess, or whatever I'll say this is, and about this poster, and if you've seen it anywhere, now you know where it's come from. This didn't really need explaining, but I kind of wanted to do because it got a fair bit of attention from various places, and I thought it's quite funny how this thing I made months ago as a bit of a joke and a bit of fun was getting attention from news sites reporting on it. It was just weird, and so many people were commenting on various places thinking it was real, so I just thought I should talk about it. And anyway, I'd had no other ideas for content at the moment. So, well, if you're interested in Reading and Leeds Festival and you're new around here, please consider subscribing, because we'll have plenty of stuff about the festival once the festival actually gives us something to talk about. I mean, we'll probably have a few more prediction videos and that sort of thing in the meantime before we get a lineup announcement, but there will be stuff about it on here in the future at some point, hopefully soon. As always, thank you for watching, hope you had fun, like, comment, subscribe, the usual YouTube shit, and I'll see you in the next video.